Alright, so tell the YouTube people whatever it is you have for them this time.
Not a lot, because my mind is very slow these days, because, well, like I said tonight, here I am. It's August 2016, and I turned 91 years old, so don't expect too much from me. My kids think I shouldn't even be driving my car, but I haven't driven it for a couple months now because I was in the hospital with pneumonia, and I didn't drive it, so now I'm a little leery of driving my car. And they said, well, you don't need to drive your car. I said, well, when you give up driving your car, you lose your independence. So I still intend to drive it, but it's been several months since I drove it. Nathan just took me to the hospital where I got this bone scan thing, and Linda takes me to the doctor, Gwen takes me to the doctor. About all you get done when you're 91 years old is go to the doctor. Go to the hospital, go to the doctor. Have this checked, have that checked, there's something else checked. Today it was a bone scan. So they'll call me and let me know how it made out, and if it turned out good, they'll put me back on Fosamax. And they told me not to take my calcium before I went down for the bone scan. So now I can take my calcium with vitamin D. And we sit out on the porch and talk a lot. And you know what we talk a lot about, mostly? Our doctor visit. Went to the doctor and he said, you need this or that. And so that's what we do here at the Rothrock Apartments. Tell one another all about our doctor visits. So I guess you ought to be glad to be alive when you're not 91. I'm glad that I have kids that'll drive me to the doctor. My oldest daughter right now, she and her husband are in Europe. Last time we heard from her, she texted Nathan and said, we're in Dublin. So I don't know where else in Europe they're going, but they're going to be gone a month. I worry about them. There's always something to worry about when you get old. You sit around and worry about this or that and the other thing. So Nathan's job today, when we got back, was unplugged my commode. I always have some kind of a job. Sometimes I get them to try to balance my checkbook. And you know what? I don't even give a darn anymore whether my checkbook's balanced or not. I just go to get out and take some money out of the ATM machine. It tells you right there what your balance is. So why worry about it? And then other things, when you're 91, you hate to cook. I don't cook much. In fact, I'm not even hungry much. So I was kind of hungry for some rigatoni, and I bought some tomato sauce and things today to make some. And I'll probably eat a little bit of it, and I don't need that. Nathan and I went to Burger King today. Is that where we went?
Yeah.
And I had a hamburger, and he had a...
I had the Whopperito.
Whopperito. It's something like a burrito, and it's something like a...
It's kind of like a Whopper, but it's kind of like a burrito.
Burrito. So,
and in my personal opinion, it wasn't that great.
And my little hamburger was okay.
You had a Whopper Jr.
Whopper Jr. and fries. And when we come back up the road, it started to rain. He wants to come and mow the lawn. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not. The grass is wet now, I guess. And
as long as it's not pouring down rain, I probably will. One thing I thought you could mention this time around, since our last video, the Corbin reunion happened.
Oh yes, we had more people there this year than we have for quite a while, because Ken came up from Texas. Sarah, my oldest sister Sarah, had 4 boys. 2 of them lived in Texas. Ben, the oldest one, came up, but he got sick and had to go back. I have nephews that are in their 80s. Nieces and nephews, and they're 7 and 70s and 80s. Sarah was a grandmother when she was in her 30s. That Sarah's the one that has the boys that live in Texas, and they kind of grew up with with our kids. I'm talking my brothers and sisters, because Sam and Ben, my brother and my nephew, were close to the same age. One of the funny things, maybe I said it before, that happened when my dad was at work and the garage door was open, and these kids went into the garage and was driving stakes into the floor. It had a dirt floor. Well, he come home, and there was these stakes in the garage, so he couldn't pull the car in. So he was really mad. My dad had a bad temper. He said to these kids, "Line up," and they lined up, and he took something. I think it was a terminal dinner tube or something, and he gave them all a swat. And now when they think about it and tell about it, they laugh about it, but they probably didn't think it was that funny at the time. So that was how he handled that situation. Gave every one of them a swat with something. And Ben, the oldest one, he's in his 80s now. One time, we always had a place where we went swimming, and it was down in a farmer's field right across from where we lived. You'd go down across the field, and we built a dam. The way you build a dam was to take rocks and build a dam. Well, he went down there, jumped into the water, and there must have been a half of a jar, a piece of glass in there. Cut his leg really bad here, some place, and his parents had to take him to the doctor and have it sewed up. And but that was still our swimming hole. That was our pool. I bet we had more fun in that old swimming hole than people with their fancy pools. And we were never bored. There was always something to do. Our mother would say, when we get out to the swimming hole, "We'll get out there in the yard and dig some of the weeds out first." There was plantings at dandelion and things like that in the yard, and we had to dig some of it out. And we scrubbed our porches, our walk. Our mother was, I don't know if you'd say a fanatic about being clean, but I don't know if anybody else ever scrubbed their walk clear from the house up to the barn. And then there was another walk off to the side that went to the outside bathroom. It was the only bathroom we had. And it wasn't for bathing at all. It was a toilet. And I don't know if anybody ever bathed in one of them outside toilet. Anyhow, we didn't know what it was to have a bathroom when I was a kid. And we had running water, but sometimes it went dry. Running water in our kitchen sink. In the dry part of the summer, it would go dry. And the only other water that we had was a pump and a dug well. Well, it was dry sometimes. Then later on in life, they had a well drilled and they had running water. Then later on, they got a heater for it. And then later on, my mother had a bathroom. And the room was already there in the house. It just didn't have the fixtures in it. So my brother-in-law, and he was a plumber anyhow, he put the bathroom on when Lil moved in with Mom to take care of her when she got older. But nobody that I know of that lived down in there, Longfellow, had their own bathroom. No, there was one family moved in later and built a house, and they had a bathroom there. I remember for a long time. This one girl was an only child, and she always had everything, nice thing, big bow in her hair, and a snowsuit. I don't think I knew what a snowsuit was when I was a kid. You wore long stockings. You know, you had long underwear. You put them down here, put the stockings up over them, and that's how you kept warm. And I don't know if anybody wears long underwear anymore either. Anyhow, we'd say to her mother, well, she has, I'm not going to say her name, she has this or this, that, and Mom would say, well, she's an only child. That I used to wish I was an only child. You know what? Right now I am an only child because all my brothers and sisters are gone, and I'm the last one. Some of them were younger than I, but they're gone too. I had a sister, 2 brothers that had rheumatoid arthritis. One sister died with cancer. One brother died of a heart attack. And now I've got a cough again. Every time I catch a cold, and every time I think I'm getting better, I start to cough. And then, instead of sitting here complaining, I am pretty good for my age. I can still get around. I don't have to go to a nursing home yet. Yeah. And I have my own apartment. And I can take care of myself and cook. And I have a cleaning lady that comes just once a month. That's all I need her. Runs the sweeper. Changes my bed. Does the washes the sheets and things like that off the bed. And it's nice to have a cleaning lady. I feel like I'm rich. I have a cleaning lady, maid. I don't need a cook because I didn't cook anyhow. I buy stuff that I can eat without cooking. No, not too much. I'm not too much for frozen dinners though. Yeah. Every time they look so good on the outside on the box, and when you go to eat them, they're not good at all. I wouldn't advise a frozen dinner to anyone. Did you eat those frozen dinners you found?
Of course.
Were they okay?
They're tolerable.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're just about out of time for this one.
Okay.
So I guess next time we'll have something else to talk
I
about.
hope we can go to a park or down to Licking Creek or something like that.
Well, if we have better weather, we probably will.
Well, one thing about it, Licking Creek is one of my favorite places to go because it's where we went when we were kids to camp and things like that. So maybe we'll take a trip down there again.
Maybe.
Maybe.